Hey guys, it's Simone and this is Being Simone Iman, and we are back with another recap of Real Housewives of Potomac. A little review. This is season 5, episode 4. I don't never look and see what the episode is called, but it'll be on the title of the video. So episode 4 was cute. You know, they're leading us up until doom doom doom, the throwdown in the barn. And so let's just get into it. So Gizelle starts off the episode with Grace and they go take a dance class. Gizelle is a shell, okay? There's not a whole lot going on in there. Like, her style is she can't dance. She's just a really pretty shell. You know, the substance is a little lacking. We'll get into that, how she in denial about being a mean girl, but you know, she's just a shell, you know. But I'm with her. I'm not really good at choreographed dancing either. I'm better with my freestyle, and my shoulders is outrageous, okay? She was dancing like a Toro cheerleader from Bring It On, like the Right Girl cheerleaders. It was too fast, too hard, too much. She's sitting down and she's talking to Grace, and she's like, well, you know, was talking about me and Dad, and I hate how she says Dad. And she's like, are you annoyed with me? When Grace rolls her eyes, she's like, no, are you annoyed with Dad? And she's like, are you annoyed with me and Dad? Ding, ding, ding. And she doesn't want to say yes, but I mean, that's what it is. I think that unless Gizelle and Jamal are 100% sure solid, they need to stop entertaining this idea of them being together, because their daughters are collateral damage in all of this. Is it worth it? Is it worth traumatizing them and bringing them through this ring around the rosy of us together, but we're not together, we may break up? Like, there is no solidity in, or it's not a solidified relationship, especially because it's long distance. It's just too much drama for these kids to be a part of. And because it's their dad, so say she just met this guy and she started dating him, she probably would have held off a little while before she brought him around her kids. But since it's their dad, she's like forcing him on them, and they not receiving that. They're not fooling with that. They're not fooling with that. And I don't blame them for not fooling with that, because they know too much about his past. And that's another thing. Y'all got to keep these kids out of grown folks' business. This is also why I see that they say reality TV like ruins families and relationships, because it's too much playing off on camera, it's too much in the blogs, it's too much for these kids, and them cheering at school, teasing and talking shit because they know a little bit about their private life. It's just too much. So in scene, we head to Karen, the Grand Dame, and she's event planning, or you know, talking about her party with Matt. Do you guys remember when we first met Matt on the Housewives franchise? If you're on social media and you're following all these housewives, you'll know that Matt is well connected amongst the Real Housewives franchise and a couple other reality TV casts with black women. Like, black women love Matt. When we first met Matt on Potomac, though, he was sitting in that conference room with Karen looking like her personal injury attorney, like he worked for Flea and Flea. It's like, oh, I thought he was your attorney. No, he's just my friend. Of course, by now we know that the parties are staged. Not that they're staged, but it just gives the production team something to film. And so it's like, okay, we can have a party, a housewarming party. But I'm with Ray. Like, well, we could have just had coffee and toast. Maybe a cute little brunch, a few close friends over. If they were living in a realistic life where they didn't have to put on all this pomp and circumstance, I would have definitely did something small. The singing telegram was a cute idea. I actually really liked it. I loved it when it came into fruition. We saw the final product, but even it was fun playing along with the guy and him doing all the flip-flops, him messing up. Like, I loved it. It was super cute, and it's so light and caring. Karen is, you know, a grown-ass woman, but she doesn't take herself super serious, and I like that about Karen. Okay, let's talk about something real quick. Karen's interview look. It's the boomerang, highly cut, the bangs, it's blonde. I personally love it. The bangs, the make, all this, the glam. Now, I don't know about the orange and the tulle and the outfit. I'd have to see her standing up in it. But the interview look to me is so nice. All the like groups on Facebook for Potomac and in the comments on different posts, people are like, that's a horrible wig. They're comparing it to the Nene wig with the blonde short and the chop bang. Like, no, this short, little fun, playful, it's not pixie, it's like that 90s Halle cut that Karen has going on. I for one love it. I think she looks beautiful in that interview look. Then we switch things to Robyn and Wendy on their play date, which I loved. Okay, I'm a double boy mom, like Robyn, although Wendy does have a baby girl now, so I love to see it. Okay, and I thought it was super perfect for them. Their boys are, Robyn's boys are a little bit older, just a couple years, but they're not too old that they don't want to play, you know. So that was really cute. I thought that it was really cute that they both have sons named Carter, and I don't know what I was about to say. I was like, who? Carter. And Robyn is a unicorn mom. Robyn was like, I have libations, you better. I wouldn't have picked the red margarita things, but you better, sis. That's my type of play date. I loved how they were just fun and talking about, you know, nothing too serious, how they're raising their kids. Wendy said she might take a turn and look at the degrees on the wall. You will be educated. And when, you know what really stuck out to me in this scene, I loved how when the ice cream truck came up, Wendy was like, I only have a car. And Robyn was like, I got it. And Robyn handed Wendy's baby a handful of cash. Go get y'all what y'all want. That's the type of mom friend I am. And those are the type of mom friends I aspire to have. I want mom friends that are just like, we got y'all. I got y'all. I just, you know, they're serious, like friendly, not like, oh, well, pretend like you ain't got no cash either. Or we'll go get some ice cream later. Like, no unfriendly, pretentious, none of that. It was just, I love to see it. I thought that was a good scene with Wendy and Robyn. That's just always kind of friend. I've been always I got us friend, so I know like when I make my mom friends one day, whenever that's gonna come, that's the type of mom, that's the type of mom friend that I would be. And then Robyn's oldest son comes and sits down right in the middle of them, and she's like, he said, I want to listen. That was me. I was an all up in grown folks business kind of kid. Wendy say you need to get out of grown folks business though. And then Robyn asks what Candace said about them, which I thought was a very shady, very green eye bandit question to ask. That's just the type of shit that Robyn and Gizelle be on. Ooh, what she say about us? And I can respect the fact that Wendy was very verbatim. Wendy said what Candace said. She didn't dress it up. She didn't water it down. She said she called Gizelle a monster. And she did. When they rolled it back, she absolutely, because I was kind of like, did she say that? Yes, she did. She played telephone with accuracy. Like I said, I thought that was a very shady question. And on the receiving end, if I were Wendy, I probably would have dressed it down. I probably wouldn't have gave it all. But maybe Wendy is just like, she ready for reality TV and this is what's gonna make a scene or a couple of scenes. We might get a couple of scenes out of this one interaction. So I was like, okay, I guess. But I probably would have played it very surface, especially since you don't really know Robyn that well. So just give her a little bit. This thing about Wendy coming for Karen, I don't like it. I love the Grand Dame. I don't know if y'all can tell from the previous 3 videos I've done about Real Housewives of Potomac, but I really enjoy Karen. I think Karen is the most solid member of this cast. I think it's weird and cheap that Wendy goes for the ageism digs. I think it's weird that Wendy cares about whether or not Karen is having sex with Ray. Like, do you need imagery? Are you trying to, I don't get it. Like, I don't like that with Wendy. And I like Wendy so far, but I just don't like how hard she coming for Karen. And I get it. Karen is playing her, trying to act like she don't know her. But then, in the grand scheme, like, Wendy, she don't know you. This is very Nene Leakes, Phaedra Parks. We both from Athens. There's only 2 high schools and 3 middle schools. Like, but I don't know you. I know of you. And you know, that's just a matter of semantics. To some people, a know you, know of you is no big difference. But to some people, it's the biggest difference. So it's like, okay, Wendy, but lay off of Karen. Now, one thing I will say, Karen ain't been on having no sex with Ray and a man in the moon. Karen, if Ray tell her he love her, she better not be giving her little coffee cake. It ain't even a cookie no more. Karen got a little coffee cake. And then, Candace and Ashley meet up. I have always felt and known that Candace and Ashley would get over their little tiffs because they're basically the same person to me. Besides the beauty pageantry and all of that stuff, just as far as attitude, performance, and not being able to let shit go, that yam, they literally, before Candace Bassett showed up on the scene, Ashley was doing Candace's role right now. Talking a lot of junk, not letting it go, in everybody's little business. And it's just like, you would think that they would get along the most. And then we all know that Ashley introduced Candace onto the show. So I loved the go-go music at the beginning of the scene. You gotta shout out the area that you're in. You know, there's a whole, you know, let the go-go live movement in DC right now. And Candace calls Ashley and asks her if she wants her to order her anything, and Candace meant like a little $5 coffee. She didn't mean the $15 entree. Like, or do they get like a per diem or a little allowance when they film scenes and they eating? Like, does production pay for that? If they do, okay. But if I'm buying it, girl, just get a little coffee or something. This is a coffee shop. I didn't really want to get you the $15 entree. They start talking, and Candace is lethal on Twitter. It's like disgusting almost. Like, I don't like it at all. The way Candace comes at bloggers or the castmates, it's just too much for me. Little side note, so they talked about this a little bit in the scene. When they were going back and forth, Candace didn't realize that Ashley was in labor. It was just kind of like the episode was playing and I'm live tweeting and this is what I'm talking about. But she didn't know. It's not like she knew that Ashley was on a delivery bed and was like, and another thing, bed wench. Like, it wasn't like that. But still, it was a little bit too much. I don't really remember where they left off after the reunion, but evidently it was on a bad note because she was still going on. Ashley came in with that stroller, swinging and banging, knocking shit down. I think Candace was absolutely correct. She and Ashley needed to do this one-on-one, because even when they didn't agree, they were able to come to some sense of decency, or, you know, agree to disagree. With all Robyn but you out, like, everybody needs to fall back and we just need to do this one-on-one. So that was very appropriate, and I'm glad it worked out well for them. Baby Dean was a whole scene stealer, mood changer. He is the cutest little baby ever. And that's one of the things. So, like, my company that I work for is a child-friendly, and up to a certain age, child-friendly environment and a pet-friendly environment. And that's one of the reasons why. It's because people are not going to have a lot of tension or contention or arguing or anything like that around kids. So you know, it's just a mood booster when children are around, and it's a boost of morale. It gives everyone something to gawk over and awe and fun and be more quiet and chill. And so yes, Dean served a wonderful purpose in that. Ashley says that something happened between June and Candace's anniversary party between Sharice and Monique, and that Ashley supposedly knows what that is, and that's why Monique is so upset. But Ashley swears that she doesn't know what's going on. I don't know what to think. Okay, so Monique is my fave. I always say your fave is not above reproach. At this point, I don't know what to think. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what rumor is the bad part and the good part. Like, I really do not get it. That picture at that baby shower when she has Monique is like, come on girl, let's take a picture with Sharice, is the wrench in the system. Like, how could you be so cool with her 30 days ago, 60 days ago, and then now it's like, I don't even want her in my presence. What happened? And if something so nasty happened, tell us. Y'all telling us everything else? And then let's see, telegrams arrive via text, and they're so funny, and everybody is like, oh, this is, even Wendy, who don't really even play Karen that close, her and her husband are like, oh, this is cute. Like, why Robyn and Gizelle so negative and nasty and bitter about everything with Karen? Karen literally has done nothing to them. And this is my thing with Gizelle, especially Robyn, and how she comes at Karen. You're mad at Karen for being herself at the end of the day. Over the top, pretentious, if you want to call it fake or phony, the grind dom, you don't like her persona. Like, that's on you. That's not on Karen. Karen don't go out of her way to talk nasty to them. Sis don't be on Twitter. She don't know how to use Twitter. Okay, so Twitter, what? Like, Karen is literally just being herself. And for whatever reason, that really bothers Robyn and Gizelle to the core. I didn't know you're supposed to have a housewarming for renting. It's just like, girl, leave this lady alone. You going to the party anyway. You're contractually obligated. Like, come on. I just don't like how they dig at Karen. And Karen is literally just being herself. Like, take it or leave it. If y'all don't like it, stop with the shady backhanded comments. Honestly, at their age, they're talking about her renting. I don't think it's fiscally sound for her and Ray to go get no mortgage on no home and start investing in something that they don't see themselves having for the long haul. It's like, for what? And Ray too old to be worrying about maintenance. Okay? Somebody else needs to come fix these pipes if they bust. Gizelle's trying to act like she's not a mean girl. So they start talking about what Candace had said to Wendy about her. And Candace ain't lied. That is a $900,000 tear down, Cat. I mean, it is. It's a $900,000 tear down. And it's that whole Kenya Moore. She talked about my baby, the house I bought for my kids. Like, Gizelle, stall it. Then we go into the scene with Monique and Chris and her family. I am with Monique and having to take a breath. Like, sometimes you just gotta take a deep breath and manage your emotions with your kids. It hits me when I have to comb my little boy's hair because that is a stressful situation. He does not like it, and I don't like it any more than he does. It gets overwhelming, and you don't want to react on the stress of the situation and blow up on your babies and then have to go back and apologize, because if you ever blow up on your children, you need to go back and apologize to them. I don't care if they're 9 months old, 19 years old. You apologize to children when you disrespect them. Yeah, it's just not a fun situation to be in, and I get her. It gets very overwhelming. I only have 2, she has 3. I could imagine. Now, she got hired help now. I don't. I have a lot of support at home, and me and my partner do the damn thing with juggling these kids, okay? But since you got nannies and maids and shit now, you can complain, but not too much. She's saying that she just would like to know that Chris cared a little bit more about what she had going on, and I feel her on that. Chris is a high school football coach, so his life, you know, he has long days, long hours. He's probably at school well after school is over for the day, so I get it. But at the same time, if you're expecting something, you got to be able to give it. It's all about reciprocity when you're in committed relationships, marriages. As long as the feelings are mutual and we're able to reciprocate our appreciation for one another, we'll be fine. Now, if we're not reciprocating, then we have a problem. The thing that got me with Chris is very old school. He thinks because he's financially responsible for his family and he provides a good life, that's all he has to do. And shit don't work like that. You cannot buy it, Chris. You really got to work on that. I also didn't like when he was like, if he take her to breakfast, he gonna be expecting something that night. You are not a single man dating some girl. Like, you know, like she's like, she don't want to be some booty call. Just because we go out to eat, I gotta bust it open? Like, bruh, stop. I ain't like that. It just was too old people-ish. Them old barbaric ways. I don't like that shit. And then Candace and Chris Bissett have a picnic. It was super cute. I loved it. When Candace was talking about having kids, she was like solely and always responsible for a child. Like, that's real. When you start having kids, they are your responsibility unless you want the government in your life, CPS at your door. Like, you gotta take care of these kids, and it will behoove you to take care of them well. Like she was saying, you don't want them to have to be 30 years old still trying to get over the trauma that you created for them. What I like about Chris and Candace is that Chris holds her accountable. Chris is practical, but Chris also wants a very traditional nucleus type of family, nuclear family, I think is what the term is. Like, he wants that. He's been separated from his other children through divorce, and he just wants to be able to hold on to something and have that solid family unit. And I feel him. Girl, give him that, baby. And then we get to Gizelle and Cal. Well, first they go with Karen and her friends. And Karen got a friend with a titty tattoo. And production loves it, obviously, because they keep cutting to a shot of the titty tattoo. But then we get to Gizelle, and Cal shows up. And she tells us a little bit of the backstory about how Cal used to cut Jamal's hair. And that's how he knows them, or that's how she knows him. And that's, you know, he knows them in the grand scheme. And I get that. Production is also shady because every opportunity that they get to show us them tacky ass home decor pieces, they do. I bet after Gizelle saw them first 2 episodes, she started enlisting and dialing up the nearest interior design person, because that house is a puke up mess. She gets to talking to Cal after she showed him into her room, and she's like, this is the wig I want you. This wig, he called it coochie hair. Giselle just does not have it. She's literally clueless when it comes to like aesthetics and style. Whether it's her personal aesthetic and style or the decor of her home. Like, she doesn't get it. And I had said, I think on episode 2, that it looked like she had a high bun up under that wig. And she does. Girl, at least put you like 4 to the scale braids. Try to make that shit lay down a little bit. Like, Gizelle just don't get it. And she would have done so much better if she would have wore her natural hair in the bun. In a low, little, sleek little bun, done with some baby hair, some little wispy tendrils over the ear, and call it a day. Cal's assessment of the situation with Jamal and the children is dead on. He's saying lead with love, and while I get it, obviously these children love their dad, so it's like, okay, lead with love, but they got to put in some work too to make these girls feel comfortable and confident in what they have going on. It's more than just love here. You got to be more practical than that. And this is why you have open, candid conversations with children as well. These kids are old enough to be honest, and y'all have to talk to them like they're adults, basically, because the world that they're growing up in is treating them like adults. Look, these comments on IG is not holding back because they 15. They spewing fire, and they need to sit down, if they haven't, maybe they have, with all of those girls and be honest and talk to them about how they're feeling. If not, if this shit don't work out, it's gonna be a world of drama for Jamal and possibly Gizelle too, depending on how it ends. And yeah, I just don't like it. They need to talk to them girls. Karen's party, everything looks great. We know the Grand Dame always throws a great party. Gizelle misses every time, and Cal straightened that wig bone straight, but they should have washed it and conditioned it first. I don't know if she had washed it, because it just wasn't sitting right, and it was just like, you could see that the big part. Like me, I got the big part right here with my hair a little puffy, with my new growth popping. Like, it was just a big part. It was real cushiony. Oh, Gizelle. And every time Gizelle shows up to something fun and festive, they're like, oh, where's Jamal? Jamal ain't coming around, just like Sherman wasn't coming around. She guards her love. Now, she attack everybody else's. She could attack everybody else's relationship. She's very guarded when it comes to her men. Ashley looks beautiful with straight hair. I love Ashley with straight hair. And sis was throwing back her coronas. Wendy and Eddie arrived. I like Eddie. Actually, Eddie looks just like my little cousin named Eddie. And I think he's so cute. He gotta move around though. He haven't learned that he's not a part of the scene. Like, even later when Candace and Wendy are taking selfies, he's like, photobomb, go sit your ass down with Chris at the table and eat the ribs. Like, he'll get it eventually though. Monique and Chris come in. Chris looking like the big and tall at Men's Warehouse. Monique is giving sex jumpsuit. When they came, Chris gave them the most general, hey y'all. It was just like a big howdy, and kept it pushing because Chris don't mess with them. And now we see why he may be reacting to them like that as we watch like their social media presence currently. He don't fool with them. I love the fact that Monique and Candace embrace one another, but they gotta ask, like, are we hugging? It's just too uncomfortable. Are we hugging? Are you serious? Robyn is always late and shady, and her shade late too. Like, I get the whole pizza thing, but it wasn't that funny. If you want to spend $30 on a joke, be my guest though. Robyn asked Ray, why is everything monogrammed with a K? Ray said, I'm just here. Honestly. And I totally understand where he coming from. Gizelle and Candace have their side conversation. And of course Gizelle dishes it, but she cannot take it. You know, Gizelle is so mean. And I'm glad they cut to that scene where she was verbally accosting Karen, Erica Laws, in the lobby of that goddamn hotel. Like, girl, you mean as shit. Stop it. Stop acting like a damn victim. You out here spewing venom yourself. It was the pot calling the kettle black. Gizelle said she won't go deep with Candace. They'll keep it surface. Candace said that's how it's been. She only goes deep with Robyn. I don't know why she's trying to act like, oh, she got all these great friends on the cast. She don't. The girls sit in the round, and I don't like the ageism with Wendy again. And why does Wendy care so much about if Karen having sex with Ray? First of all, Karen looks wonderful. I read on the blogs that Karen is 57. She's an amazing 57, okay? I want my 57 to look like that. Well, I want it to look a little better, but that's a great benchmark for 57. Karen says Ray's ready to retire. I said that in my last video. That's what his whole can't say I love you, he low-key is resentful. He was ready to go retire, and now you playing on TV. And as a spouse, I have to support you for better or for worse. And it's done messed up my retirement plan. I'm ready to go sit down somewhere. And I feel for Ray. But you know, you never want your significant others to be like, you know, I supported you. I was so ride or die while you was going to pursue all your life endeavors. And now here I have my little 15 minutes of fun and fame. And you want to conk out on me. I would let Ray's ass move to Florida though. Be long distance. Shit, why not? And then here come Karen and her little Beyonce. Okay now, ladies. It was cute. But here come Robyn and Gizelle hating. I love the pink hat and the pink pantsuit. The Grand Dame is the Grand Dame, honey. And there's just nothing else to say about it. And then, child, at the end of the episode, Ray running up the stairs, go get in the bed, honey. And I don't blame him. Shit, I'm not cleaning this shit up. I don't have time to say goodbye to everybody. And really, I'm a little tipsy and dizzy. I need you to go lay down. It was a fun, light episode. We're building up to Barngate, and I like these episodes because they're showing the dynamics and the friendships within the circle. Yeah, that's all Potomac gave this week, and so I'll see you guys next week in my next review and recap of Real Housewives of Potomac. Be sure to subscribe, to like, to comment. Tell me what y'all thought about the episode, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.